Welcome, welcome, welcome. Ascended clan, I'm calling you to guide me on my way back home. I deeply yearn to now return, claim my ascension throne. The fifth dimension and beyond, inheritance above the sky. To heaven's call I now respond, in higher realms forever fly. Ascended clan, I ask for this not only for myself. Let every being upon this earth partake of heaven's wealth. Even unto earth herself she also would return, to end the madness of this flesh, a fire within us burns. Please help us to remember that we all are innocent, and by mercy and compassion unto heaven we are sent. Resurrection of ascension, and God is found in man, and we all are family members of the great ascended clan. The love of God within my heart has healed and set me free. A love that is because I am, therefore I love me. Among the great ascended clan, I am eternally. I'm making my way back to my roots, one cosmic breath to ascension absolute. The time has been long since I have been home. I am hearing the call of a heavenly song. Oh, infinite being, in me dream awake, and among the ascended my place I now take. In trials of the flesh I have been enmeshed, and in spite of it all I still have been blessed. After hurting my brother and dishonoring my clan, my part is still vital in God's master plan. I'm ending self-hatred, transcending mistakes. A brand new agreement with life I now make. For hiding myself, I paid a high cost. Time to get back that which I lost. For ending my fear and the will to attack. Heaven is open and taking me back. In infinite being I am now awake, and among the ascended my place I do take. Spirit of Miraculii, from which all miracles come, I summon you from depths of soul, my ascension now begun. Access code to every blessing guide, to love way up on high. Melt away all things distressing, and with spirit I will fly. Mirror of my infinite being, showing me the way back home. The God in me forever free to take my ascension throne. The love of God within my heart has healed and set me free. Claim my ascension throne. Fifth dimension and beyond, inheritance above the sky. To heaven's call I now respond in higher realms forever. Fly. Gratitude. Gratitude for your presencing with me, beloveds. Welcome to the sacredness of this divine moment. Today, my subject is quantum divination. I'm going to actually do some readings today. I always tell you about my availability to do intuitive astrological readings, quantum ascension coaching. But today I'm going to be using my astro dice, which are basically planets, signs, and houses, and offering some divination, offering some reading frequency for you to help quicken your expansion. In the transmission that I just offered, my intention was and is channeling the ascended host. I am channeling every ascended being that is, was, or ever will be. God, Goddess Almighty, every angel, ascended master, cosmic being, angel, human, animal, hero, shero, elemental, star, and galaxy. By virtue of being a hologram of the multiverse and a hologram of the universe, I, as well as all of us, have the capacity to channel the frequency of the all that is. So yes, you're looking at this body, Astarius Miraculii, and what is transmitting through this body is the frequency of the entire ascended host. For I have intended it so, and I have intended it with the co-intending power with God Almighty, which we all have that capacity to do. So be at resonance, not just with my individual being, but be at resonance with the all that is. In order to personalize your reading, I'd like for you to select a number between 1 and 3. If you pick 1, then your reading is going to be much more specific to the first reading that I give. If you pick 2, most appropriate to the second one, and so it is with 3. Though you might find some applicableness in all 3 of them, but the number that you pick will be more specific to, relative to the reading that corresponds with that number. So I'm going to roll these astral dice in just a moment. And before I do, I want you to co-intend with me, to literally be of the deliberate intention that you're going to receive information that will be appropriate to your empowerment, appropriate to your expansion, and quickening you into resonance with all that you are wanting to bring about and crystallize and manifest in your life. So I'm now going to roll the astral dice for the frequency of the first reading. If your number is 1, this one is very much associated with you. So I have rolled Saturn in Scorpio in the 5th house. Saturn in Scorpio in the 5th house. Basically, the Saturn energy is about responsibility, is about duty. So if this is your frequency, your reading, then it's about the duty and the responsibility that you have for your life. It's about creative expression. The 5th house has a great deal to do with creation. The 5th house is naturally ruled by the sun. And wherever the sun is at, for example, in your chart, is a representation of your specific expression of godhood. So here we're talking about expression of godhood expressed by way of duty, responsibility, methodology, planning, systemizing, timing. That's all of the Saturnian energy. The Saturnian energy is also a resonance of the elder. So you want to be mindful of the elders that are speaking to you, elders as well as the ancestors. Saturn carries the vibration of ancestors as well as elders. But we're also talking about the elder self that exists in the central core of your own being. There is an elder resonance of who we all are. And so we call forth those all-dimensional frequencies of the elder versions of ourselves, because Saturn nudges us to intend that into being. And so you open to the wisdom that is shared by you, shared with you, that is, by all of the elders, and also the wisdom that is shared with you by your elder self, which may be of the resonance of the future, of the multiverse, of even your all-dimensional ascended self. The Scorpio is the energy of alchemy, transforming darkness into light, transforming base metals into gold, transforming poison into potion. So this is an opportunity to take responsibility for transforming the lesser vibrational frequencies into something greater. So you want to look larger. You know, there's an amazing capacity to see inwardly with Scorpio. to see that which the human eyes, the physical eyes, don't see, and to see into a deeper connection with what it is that you're meant to create, what it is that you're meant to bring forward in this lifetime, and to help accelerate that process of what you're wanting to individually create. Then you want to feel sacred pride in what you observe in all of those who are in successful creation and crystallization of their heart's desires, because that too is you by extension. So that is the message for number 1. Now I'm going to roll for number 2. If you chose the number 2, and if you just tuned in, these readings are applicable to the numbers 1, 2, or 3. Number 1 was the reading that I just gave, and number 2 is the reading that I'm about to give, and then after that will be number 3. So if you've chosen number 2, this is your message. I'm rolling here my astro dice. Number 2. Interesting, this Saturn is still present. I'm rolling Saturn here in Taurus. Interestingly enough, Taurus is opposite Scorpio, and then the 11th house, and the 11th house is opposite the 5th house. So there's a direct correlation. This indicates that the reading of the number 1 as well as the number 2 is very powerfully woven in together. Saturn, again, duty, responsibility, methodology, planning, timing, systemizing, and with it being in Taurus, Taurus is values and valuables. So you're meant to look at where are you in your relationship with your values and your valuables. Values, of course, are formless, intangible. You can't grab a handful of values. You can grab a handful of valuables because valuables are tangible. But Taurus has this correlation with both values and valuables, and also the correspondence to Scorpio that was in the first roll, the number 1 reading, because Taurus and Scorpio are in polar relationship with each other. They are opposites. The negatives within Taurus are canceled out by the positives in Scorpio, and the negatives in Scorpio are canceled out by the positives within Taurus. And so it's a time for up-leveling the values and the valuables, not just relative to yourself individually, but also with the collective. Because I rolled the 11th house, see, Saturn, Taurus, 11th house. And the 11th house is the tribal community. It has to do with earthly and heavenly allies. And so it's about attaching value to opening up to being supported by your heavenly and earthly allies, and recognizing all of your champions. The 11th house says be open to your champions and be aware of who you are as a champion unto all others that you are engaging with. Who are your champions? Well, every being in the whole of existence is your champion, because there's only one being that is expressed in an infinite number of multifaceted individual expressions of self, whether that be in human form or extraterrestrial or angel or cosmic being, ascended master. All of these are the many facets of the one great being. And so this is an opportunity to be aware of allowing your champions to champion you. Even someone who is your adversary in this three-dimensional paradigm, that very same person who approaches you in an adversarial way are your absolute champion in the multiverse. down the corridors of eternity. There are far more sectors along the course of eternity where you are supported by every being in all existence. So even when you're having difficulty with an individual, you want to turn the dial of your awareness to the elevated versions of your experience with that individual, where you get along in supreme harmony and where they are your absolute champion and you are their absolute champion. So that's the reading for number 2. And now the reading for number 3. Again, these are the astro dice. If you just tuned in, selecting a number 1, 2, or 3, and that is most intimately related to you as your reading. And you can always, if for example, you've selected the number 1 and you came in after I finished the reading for number 1, then look at the replay and tap in that way. And it doesn't matter whether you are hearing this and with me in the actual live, or whether you hear the replay after the fact, everything is still applicable. Number 1, 2, or 3 relative to your specific intimate message. So this is the reading for number 3. And here I've rolled Saturn. Saturn again, I rolled Saturn 3 times, so we're really meant to pay attention to Saturn. And when I look at the actual position of Saturn in the heavens, Saturn is transiting Saturn is in the sign of Pisces, and it's retrograding right now, and it's going to very soon, like within the next, I'm approximating in next month or 2, it's going to go stationary direct and move forward. And it's in the sign of Pisces. So that energy is about this extreme emotional sensitivity that many of us are in, where you're so empathic, feeling the vibrations of others as if it's your own. So Saturn in Leo is saying, look at taking responsibility, Saturn, for the royalty that exists within your being, Leo, for the inner divinity within you. Leo is very much related to the inner divinity, and also related to inner child. And inner child and inner divinity are very much married to each other, because we cannot tap into our inner divinity without being at resonance with inner child. That's why I wrote in one of my poems that's in my book, Miraculii, Song of Ascension, I wrote The Little Elder. And in it I say, adults are the offspring of the child. Let us ponder this a while. When we arrived upon this earth, were we grown up, or did the child come first? Adult that I have come to be is offspring of the child in me. Who can tell the total truth without the purity of youth? Who has fun in all they do, and to their feelings oh so true? Who can ride upon the wind, whose growing is a constant trend? Who faces life with opened arms, and whose is the most irresistible charm? Who is first to forgive, who truly lives and lets live, and who has love for the stranger, till programmed with the fear of danger. The child within shall never die, the greatest truth of you and I. Growing up is never done, till everyone's elder is the little one. So let us ponder this a while. The blueprint of heaven is in the heart of the child. Saturn, Leo, first house. First house represents your methodology, the way that you market yourself to life, the way that you market yourself unto others, the way that you would like to be perceived by others, and sometimes the way that you are actually perceived by others. It's also a house that represents the body temple. So this is also saying take responsibility, Saturn, in a very optimistic way, Leo, for the maintenance of your body temple. Are you taking responsibility for the maintenance of your body? With, healthy eating and exercise and bringing a lot of breath into the body. Every deep breath is a prayer for life. Every deep breath is a way of ingesting more of God. God is hiding in plain sight in all of us through breath. We feel the movement of God through the movement of our breath. And breath has a direct association with the first house. It's also our initial thrust into incarnation. Like, what was the divine intention of your incarnating? Feel into that. Even if you don't fully know that within your own being, know that there is a higher knowingness within you. Even when you humanly and three-dimensionally seem not to know, there is a greater dimensionality of your selfhood that knows everything, a greater dimensionality of your selfhood that is in a state of cosmic consciousness. So feel the resonance of that you that holds the knowledge of all things, even though that you exists in the all-dimensional ascended realms, but every realm is equally present with every other realm. All of the dimensions are merged into one. They have a distinction of their rate of vibration, and that's where a seeming separation exists, because a lower vibration cannot marry a higher vibration unless that lower vibration elevates to come into synchronicity with that higher vibration. So allow yourself to elevate into a higher vibration of synergy with the elders of the universe, with every angel and every ascended master, every cosmic being, with every achievement. Saturn is related to supreme achievements. And you don't have to wait until an achievement unfolds in a linear sense to be in celebration of it. Your empowerment lies in being in celebration of every achievement that will ever be established for you all the way down the corridors of eternity and forever. Celebrate those achievements even now. And by virtue of that celebration, there will be a quickening of the achievements that you are meant to bring forward in the three-dimensional experience. Bringing about finances. My peace money formula. Money, money crystallize, stream right now into my hand. Golden sun within me rise. Let abundance take a stand. I allow the manifestation, big financial compensation, great success. Come along, sing with me, prosperity song. I am filled with inspiration. Gold now fills my situation with my heart. Thank you, Lord. All I want I can afford. It not only be for me, all the world be rich and free. Love and peace and truth abound within my life, the world around. And in my hand be ceaseless action, bringing wealth and satisfaction with God vision and reflection. See my money's resurrection. Blessings here and all about, courage, faith, and wisdom sprout. Gold for me is everywhere, and with all I ever share. Let good fortune go before me, right beside me and behind me. All with money now adore me. With gold and emeralds they adorn me. Here's the vision, I now see my love has brought reality. Yes, it does exist for me. The angels have now set me free, 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 free. The angels have now set me free, 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 free. Thank you, Divine Creator, for this sacred opportunity to be in the eternal remembrance of who and what we truly are. Thank you, Divine Creator, that each one of us is of the presence of mind, heart, and awareness, that every being in all existence are extensions of our own self. Thank you for giving us the presence of mind and heart to feel sacred pride relative to the oneness of wholeness of achievements, oneness of wholeness of creative expressions, oneness of wholeness of love, that every expression of love is our own expression of love by extension, that every creation is our own creation by extension, and we don't covet the things that others have, yet we join in absolute oneness with the frequency fruition that is felt, with the elevated joy that is felt in the heart of every being regarding their creations, the elevated joy that is felt in the heart of every being who are in fulfilling relationships, the elevated joy that is felt within the hearts of all of those who are in great achievement, who are engaging in work that makes their hearts sing. We allow ourselves to become in full embrace with all of our victories, not just the victories of this three-dimensional moment and this three-dimensional lifetime, but all of the victories that we will bring about down the corridors of forever, even into the arms of eternity. We wake up and remember who we are. And so I thank you, beloveds. Thank you for waving at me. I love you so much, and I'm waving back at you. Thank you for remembering who you are. Thank you for knowing that you are infinitely more than your mistakes. Thank you for knowing that all of your mistakes forever operate at a surface level. All of my mistakes forever operate at a surface level. Let us live from the central core of being. For the center of our being is that place and that domain that is uncontaminatable by any of the negative vibrations, fear and worry and doubt and hatred and conflict between beloveds can never reach the center. All of the negatives of life always operate at a surface level. And so even now, in this now moment, we deep sea dive into the ocean of our center. Thank you for deep sea diving with me into the ocean of the great center, into the ocean of the great now. Thank you for realizing that now is the chalice container of eternity. All times are now, all space is here, and there is no reason to fear. Thank you for knowing that every time is now, and every space is here, and everyone is you. Thank you for piercing to the center of any of your negative energies and aligning with the light that exists within the center. Thank you for knowing that all negatives are angels in distress. Thank you for freeing the distressed angels. Thank you for presencing with me. Thank you for receiving the readings. And if you would like to experience a one-on-one reading with me, that's available remotely or in person. And I do a full astrological chart, working with also the tarot and certainly my astro dice as well, and quantum ascension coaching, aligning you with your elder versions of self so that you align with them and feel them in an experiential way. I've been blessed with a great capacity to align others with their ascended selves, all dimensional selves, elder versions of self. So my website is astarius.com, astarius.com, and you can get all of the particulars there. And you can also find my phone number as well as partake of music. I have a new album out called Incantation, which is really phenomenal. Go to the website and check out some of that. Astarius.com, Astarius.com. I love you so much. Also, a couple of books are available there for you. I feel your energy in such a strong way right now. I feel you in full alignment with the central core of your being. I know that you are my own self by extension, and every one of you that are watching, aside from being on the screen of my life and me on the screen of your life, you live as a cellular counterpart within me, because the entire multiverse lives within me, as the entire multiverse lives within you. And so we have come home to this truth and this reality. Fly well on the wings of ascension. Aho, Ashe, Amen, Namaste, Hotep, in Lakesh, Alakim, Shalom, Satnam, Hariom, Rastafari. Your sacred juices are cooked and infinitely expanding. Our sacred juices are cooked and infinitely expanding. Juicefari, Blissfari. Gonna always have many miles on our smile, wiggle in our giggle, tingling in our boots, laughter ever after, putt in our strut, wings on our butt, always rising up at the top. We are at one with God, the multiverse, and all, transcendent, beyond the humanly small. And so it is, and so it shall eternally be.